let me tell you what happened at Google I/O 2026. Google just showed the world that they can build a fully working operating system from scratch in 12 hours. No human wrote a single line of code. They showed an AI that watches YouTube for you, shops for you, plans your weekend, manages your emails, handles your calendar. And this is the part that should scare every tech company on the planet. It does all of this while you sleep. OpenAI, Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, every single one of them just watched Google stand on stage and basically say, "We're coming for everything." This is not a product launch. This is a declaration of war. And in the next 8 minutes, I'm going to break down exactly what Google announced, why it's a much bigger deal than the headlines are making it, and honestly, what it means for your job, your life, and the future. Let's go. The numbers that should make your jaw drop. Before we get into the products, let me hit you with some numbers, because the scale of what Google is doing right now is honestly hard to wrap your head around. 2 years ago, Google's AI was processing about 9.7 trillion tokens a month. Already a massive number. Last year at their same event, that grew to 480 trillion. This year, they announced 3.2 quadrillion tokens per month. That's not a typo. Quadrillion. 7 times growth in a single year. To put that into human terms, their AI is essentially processing the equivalent of billions and billions of conversations, search queries, and tasks every single day. And over 8.5 million developers are now building apps on top of Google's AI every single month. Google also has 13 products with over 1 billion users each. 5 of those have 3 billion users. That's almost half the planet on a single product. So when Google decides to bake AI into everything, and I mean everything, the reach is unlike anything any other company can match. That's the scary part. Nobody else has this foundation. The AI that builds entire operating systems. Okay, here's where it gets wild. Google has a coding tool called Project Anti-Gravity, their AI-powered development platform. And at I/O, they showed it doing something that made every senior software engineer in that audience uncomfortable. They asked Anti-Gravity to build a fully working operating system from scratch.
No months.
No instructions beyond the initial prompt. Just AI agents working on their own. Here's what happened. 93 separate AI subagents worked in parallel for 12 hours. They made over 15,000 requests to the AI model. They wrote every single line of code, from memory management to the file system to the scheduler. And at the end of 12 hours, they had a working OS. They then demoed it live on stage, installed a real program on it, and then, just to prove a point, played Doom on it. And the cost? The entire project, building a full operating system from nothing, costs less than $1,000 in AI compute fees. For context, normally, building an operating system from scratch takes a team of experienced engineers months, sometimes years. It's considered one of the hardest things in software. Google just did it in half a day with AI, for less than the price of a decent office chair. And they said this same system can build photo editing apps, messaging platforms, collaboration tools, all in hours instead of months. If you're a developer watching this is both the most exciting and most terrifying thing you've seen in a while. Google Search just got a complete transplant. Google Search has existed for over 25 years. And for most of that time, the core experience was basically the same. You type something in a box, you get a list of links. At I/O 2026, Google quietly killed that era. They announced AI mode has already passed 1 billion monthly users in just 1 year. And they're now merging everything into one seamless AI search experience. But the craziest part? Search can now build custom apps for you on the fly. Here's how it works. Say you type a complex question about astrophysics. Instead of getting a list of websites, Search now builds you an interactive visual, a custom simulation, right inside the results. You can click on it, change the parameters, explore it. It's built just for your question. And this isn't just for science questions. They showed Search building a fully custom weekend planner, pulling from your Gmail, your calendar, your preferences, local events, restaurant bookings, maps, even your kids' interests, and turning it into a shareable mini-app. They're also introducing AI agents inside Search that work 24/7 in the background. You tell it, Keep track of biotech stocks with these criteria. Or, alert me whenever my favorite athlete announces a sneaker drop. And the agent watches the entire web for you, filters the noise, and sends you only what actually matters. Google Search is no longer a search engine. It's an AI that runs your information life in the background while you do other things. Google is about to own how you shop. You thought Google was just search and email? Think again. At I/O, they announced something called the Universal Cart, and it's basically a shopping assistant that lives everywhere at once. In Search, in Gmail, in YouTube, in the Gemini app. You can add something to your cart while watching a YouTube video, while reading an email, while chatting with AI. Your cart follows you around the internet. And it's not a dumb cart. It watches for price drops, finds hidden deals, checks which of your credit cards gives you the best cashback for that purchase. And it even catches mistakes, like if you're building a PC and accidentally pick a processor that doesn't fit your motherboard, the cart catches the incompatibility and warns you before you buy. They're also launching an AI payment system where you can tell your AI agent to automatically buy things when certain conditions are met, but with strict limits you control. So your AI can buy that flight when it drops below a certain price. But it won't go rogue and buy a motorcycle. Amazon has spent years building their shopping empire. Google just announced they're coming for it, at scale with AI, inside products that half the world already uses every day. The AI glasses are actually real this time. Every few years someone announces AI glasses, and it's a disaster. Remember Google Glass? Yeah, we don't talk about that. But at I/O 2026, something felt different. Google announced their first audio AI glasses, arriving this fall. Made with Warby Parker and Gentle Monster, so they actually look like glasses a human would wear in public. They're not trying to put a screen in your face this time. Instead, Gemini quietly talks in your ear, helping you navigate, answering questions, taking photos, placing orders, summarizing messages, adding events to your calendar. They did a live demo on stage where someone walked around, asked Gemini to navigate to a coffee shop, then asked it to place their usual coffee order on DoorDash, hands-free, without touching a phone. The AI launched the app, clicked through all the screens, and confirmed the order. They also showed the glasses taking a selfie of the entire audience, turning it into a cartoon, and adding a branded blimp in the sky, all triggered by a single voice command. It's early, but for the first time, AI glasses looked like something real people might actually wear. That's a bigger deal than it sounds. Google thinks it can solve all disease. And maybe climate too. Look, the products are impressive. But the thing that gave me actual chills was the science section. Google's AI called AlphaFold has become a standard research tool used by millions of scientists worldwide. It predicts how proteins fold, a problem that stumped biology for 50 years. Now scientists just use it. They announced Gemini for Science, a whole suite of AI tools for researchers. Instantly reading new papers, turning research goals into code, generating new hypotheses. Their weather AI called WeatherNext now predicts hurricane paths more accurately and earlier than traditional systems. During last year's hurricane season, it predicted a Category 5 strike on Jamaica 3 days before it hit, giving people time to evacuate. That AI saved lives. And their lab at Isomorphic Labs is using AI to design new medicines. They're now in preclinical testing for potential treatments for cancer and immune disorders. Demis Hassabis, Google's AI chief, said on stage, "Our mission is to one day solve all disease." A few years ago, that sounds insane. After what they showed at I/O 2026, it doesn't sound insane anymore. It sounds like a timeline. If this breakdown was useful, subscribe. I post every week on AI tools, software engineering, and everything happening at the frontier of tech. And drop a comment. Which Google announcement surprised you most? I'm reading every single one. Oh, and drop your city in the comments too. I'm posting this from New York, and I want to see how far this reaches. Seattle, Austin, San Francisco, Chicago. Let me know you're out there. I'll see you in the next one.